Hello you guys, welcome or welcome back to my channel. If it's your first time here, you're watching BookedonCharity, and in today's video we are going to be talking about my May and June TBR. The reason why I'm doing a TBR for 2 months because one, it is the 18th of May already, so I've lost my chance to just do a May video. Two, I've got library books that I took out earlier in the week and they are due in 6 weeks time, so I thought let me just actually do a TBR for whatever is left of May up until end of June. And so I've got a ton of books to read from. I feel like I'm back into my mood of actually wanting to pick up physical books, or I'm at a point where I'm gonna start having a little bit more time to read because it has been quite busy and stressful in the last couple of weeks, so I haven't been able to read, record, edit, anything. So this is kind of like my week of getting back into the groove of things. So I thought let me just start with the TBR video. It doesn't matter that it's late, I don't care. But I really wanted to share with you guys the books that are on my radar for the next 6 weeks. So starting with books that I have to finish by end of June is book club reads. So first of all, I've got Red Ink again by Angela Makola. I'm still not done with this one. This is not a book club read, however book 2 is a book club read, so I need to finish book 1 first. But I have been struggling a little bit with progressing in this book. My reading of it is very slow, and I think I'm mostly struggling with the font in the book. My eyes like get really tired when I'm reading the book, but I think I have a strategy to read it alongside a fantasy book and keep swapping the chapters like that. So I think I got to about page 105. I lost my bookmark, so I'm just gonna grab another bookmark. I'm just gonna grab a random bookmark. I'm gonna put it in there. So I'm almost like halfway through, so I wanted to read a little bit of this weekend, and while I start another book, because I just finished Chalkman this morning finally also. So yeah, and then our book club pick for the months of May and June for the fully booked book club is the Read Dance Stalker by Angela Makola. This is the sequel to Red Ink, so that's what I'm saying. These are the 2 books that I have to finish by end of June so that we can have our discussions. I'm already late because I haven't started the Read Dance Stalker, but as soon as I'm done with Red Ink, I'm gonna jump straight into it. Right, and then my other books that I have to read are the library books that I picked up. I have been really bad at finishing library books. I keep taking books out, but I don't actually get to read and finish any of the books, which is bad. But I've got 2 books that are going to be easy to read. They are graphic novels that I am really excited to try. So I've got Death Note Volume 1 and Volume 2, and this is by Tsugumi Ohba, and the art is by Takeshi Obata. So this is like a well-known graphic novel, and I don't really know what it's about, but I'm happy to go into it blind. These should be like quick read, like under 2 hours. I should be able to read these books, finish them. One of them I also want to read throughout this weekend and try and finish it, and we'll see what the story is about. And then I picked up She Who Became the Sun. The lettering on the cover is gone, so here's the actual title of the book, and this is by Shirley Parker Chan. It's also one that was like very popular. Was it last year? When did this book come out, or the year before? Because book 2 is already out and I hear good things about. I think this is also, is this a duet? I don't know. I think it might be a duet, but the series is apparently called The Radiant Emperor, and this is book 1 in the series. So looking forward to reading this one. This is Asian inspired historical fantasy, and looking forward to it. And then another book that I had checked out of the library before, but I never got a chance to pick up, and I hope that I will get a chance this time around, is Scythe, and this is by Neil Shusterman. This is the first book in a series. I think it is a trilogy. I don't know if they'll continue, but they don't tell us the name of the series. I have no idea. So yeah, it just starts. But Scythe is basically a story about these scythe whose jobs are to actually kill people, because the world has advanced so much that people are becoming unkillable, and in order to kind of like cull population, they are tasked to kill. Essentially. So it says, in a perfect world, the only way to die is to be gleaned by a professional scythe. When Citra and Rowan are chosen to be apprentice scythes, they know they have no option but to learn the art of killing. However, the terrifying responsibility of choosing their victims is just the start. So looking forward to this. I think the premise is quite interesting. Okay, and then I've got a stack of books that are part of my hopefuls. I just picked these books mostly at random and based on what my feelings are at the moment, and I think it's books that I'm like in the mood to read right now. First of all, I've got The Eternal Ones, and this is by Namina Fauna. I really want to read this book because I want to finish this trilogy. I really loved book 1 so much. I thought it was so good. Book 2 was a little disappointing for me because there were a lot of repetitions, but I hope that the author will redeem themselves in book 3. And yeah, I'm looking forward to it because I am interested to seeing how the story is going to end. Also, really love these covers. I think they're so stunning. And then a middle grade that I've been anticipating for the longest time is Nevermore by Jessica Townsend. The book 1 is called The Trials of Morrigan Crow. So Nevermore is the name of the series. This is like a very popular middle grade series that every single person that I watch, follow, who reads and loves middle grade, Nevermore is always one of the top picks. So I can't wait to actually get into the story. A new release that I'm really excited for, and it's a vampire book. I love vampires. I love watching anything that's related to vampires, but we don't get a lot of vampire books, and I was really excited when I saw this book come out, and the cover is absolutely stunning. So this is called A Tempest of Tea, and this is by Hafsa Faisal. This is apparently following this person who owns a tea shop, which during the day is a normal tea shop, but at night she basically caters for creatures like vampires and such. And I think there is like a heist situation also happening in this book. It's a very short book, so, and I've heard really amazing things about it already, and I can't wait. This is definitely my next pick that I will read in parallel with Red Ink. So this is gonna be the book where I read a chapter and then go back to Red Ink. I'm hoping that this book will make me read Red Ink faster, just so that I can get back into this. I'm really excited for this one. And then a book that I am buddy reading with Vuvu because we wanted to read this trilogy together, and she is such a fan of this author. I've only read one book from the author, which I really enjoyed, so I can't say yet if I'm a fan or not, but I'm really excited to read this series. And book 1 is called A Darker Shade of Magic, and this is by V. Schwab. The series itself is called Shades of Magic, and there's a new release that is also part of the same world as this, but I really wanted to read this trilogy before I even attempt to pick up that new release. So yeah, really looking forward to this. I really love these covers as well, and I like that they are similar, so they match. Okay, the next book I have is a book that will get me back into fantasy romance, which I really love. But I love my fantasy romance with a heavy plot and a good romance background, so I'm happy if like the romance is not the main story, but I need a good plot with just some good slow burn romance as well. And this one is called Throne of the Fallen, and this is by Kerry Maniscalco. I've heard good things about this author based on the other works. I've heard that their writing style is quite lyrical, beautiful, and I'm looking forward to it. This cover, absolutely stunning, and it's one of the books that have some character in it. Look at that. Look at those illustrations on the inside. I love that. I absolutely love things like this in books, and yeah, I can't wait to read this one. I also have the audiobook of this on my Audible subscription, so I can't wait to get into Throne of the Fallen, a new book that was recently delivered to me by Quella Books, which is an imprint of NB Publishers, by an author that I've never read from before, but I've heard really good things about. This is a well-known South African author, and it is called The City Is Mine, and the author in question is Nick Mhlongo. I'm adding this book on my TBR because one, it's quite short. I haven't also read anything from the author and I wanted to try it out, and I also haven't picked up a book from NB Publishers in a while, so I think this book came maybe at the right time and I can quickly like give it a chance. It looks like a quick read as well. The lettering on here is quite spacious and large, and I sampled it. I'm like, okay, I think this is gonna be quick to read. And then adding a thriller, another thriller to my TBR. It's a book that I've been wanting to read for a while because I did read one of their other works which I absolutely loved, so I can't wait to pick up this one. And this is called The Fury, and this one is by Alex Michaelides, who is the same author who wrote The Silent Patient, which I gave 5 stars because I absolutely enjoyed it, and I can't wait. I think this one is kind of like a secluded Greek island, and somebody gets murdered and we try and find out the why, the who, the how. So looking forward to reading The Fury. And then the final book I have on this TBR is a fantasy romance where I'm hearing that this one is more romance heavy than plot heavy, but I'm still looking forward to it. I heard good things about it, so I'm looking for a lot of like banter, some swooning. Like I want to feel warm and fuzzy inside, and then I'll be happy, even though there's no real plot. So I think it's more of a magical realism romance book. And it is the Divine Rivals, but it's Divine Rivals by Rebecca Ross. Book 2 I know is already out. I also really like this cover. I think it's just simple but nice, and yeah, it's based on these 2 journalists, I think, and they rival journalists until one day they write a letter, or these letters can get transported magically, and I don't know if the letters go back and forth, and this is how they start to build chemistry between them. But yeah, I'm looking forward to it. This one also, the font on here, just like at a quick glance my eyes were just dancing which is not great, but yeah, hopefully it's gonna be easy to read. I think I saw an audio version of this. I'm not sure which of my 3 audio platforms I saw this audiobook, but I will find it and I will pair it up with the audiobook the minute I pick up this book. So yeah, that is the bulk of my TBR for the months of May and June. Looking forward to picking up each and every one of these books. I didn't do any kind of like TBR game type selection for my books this time around because I have been struggling with my reading, and I wanted to really pick my next reads based on my feelings, my emotions, so that I find it easier to read. Oh, before I close off this video, I forgot. I always forget that I have a Kindle, you guys. But I told myself that I'm gonna always try to have a Kindle book downloaded and ready on the go for any other time that I'm like waiting somewhere, traveling, looking for a Kindle. And I found that it's very easy to read also on the go. So because I finished The Chalk Man on the Kindle, I want to read one of the NetGalley books on here, and the one I have is a mystery book by H.F. Asquith, and it is called A Cruel Twist of Fate. So looking forward to reading this one. I've already started it actually. I'm like 17% in, and it's following a young woman who her mom lives with her mom. Her dad disappeared, and we assume he passed away a while back. So they own like a confectionery shop, they make sweets and stuff, but they're really struggling financially. This is also happening like, I don't know, in some century back in the day, where they have a debt collector coming in to collect their debt, and if they don't have money, he comes and he takes your tools, he takes your anything that they can take essentially. But because there's really nothing more to take from these people, they have threatened to put their mother in jail for having this debt and not paying their taxes, and basically she can work her debt off for essentially the rest of her life. So this girl comes up with a plan to get another job. She's been secretly learning how to read, so she goes and applies for a job at this very secluded island where these rich people live, but it's also a place where her father was last seen, and the mother doesn't really like that family because she holds them responsible for the disappearance and potentially murder of her husband. So this daughter does not tell her mom where she's going, but she formulates a plan to essentially get hired by one of these people so she can work there, make money, and try to get her mom out of this situation, but also try and uncover some secrets and truths about the disappearance of her dad. This is kind of like how far I've gotten into the story. It sounds like a lot, but this is literally just everything that just happened. But yeah, I'm looking forward to this. So at the bottom it says unlock the mystery, stay alive. So there's gonna be some twisty things that happen in here, but I'm looking forward to this one. This is an arc, and I'm hoping that it's going to be a good one. But yeah, this is the end of this video. If you enjoyed it, please remember to click the like button. Remember to subscribe to my channel and share this video with your friends and family. There are links below to my other social media platforms, as well as our book club. You can join. It is free to join. You don't have to read every single book we're reading, but it is always fun to read some books together. I've got some wish lists on my description if you wish to donate by send me a book. And yeah, I will see you guys in my next video. Bye. In the night, when the crowds have gone, we could talk